Good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. What's that in the sky? It's the sun. Valentine's Day today. First time we've seen the sun since Christmas. Unbelievable. New bike. Excited. Popped up the damn rolls. What do you think? Hero Hunk. Hey, the Hunk 440. What do you think? Are you interested in an air-cooled motorcycle around the 440cc mark? If you are, you stick around. Well, good morning, YouTube. How novel's this? A new bike. Absolutely gorgeous, the Hunk 440. Nice blue. Looking forward to this. Okay, we're away. The Hero, or as they used to be known, Honda Hero. Hero motorcycles. They went on their own in 2011. They've been making motorcycles ever since. They are, by volume, the largest manufacturer in not only India but the world. One thing I will say is the back brake is non-existent. That is absolutely useless. So we're away. It sounds like an Honda. Do you know, it feels like an Honda. I suppose if you was going to buy the GB 350, this would be a step up from that, because the extra CCs gives it that extra bit of oomph. I've got to say, it does feel nice. Very, very nice. Okay, let's take it around the island and up the lane. Those very nice council workers have gritted the roads on the threat of a frost, and we never had one. So, nice, easy, relaxed geometry. Round it goes. Okay, up the hill. That's not too bad. Just shut my visor, that's not too bad. Although it's a 440, it's quite old school. Let's have a look at it. So here it is. Hero's first offering to the UK market. What do you reckon? It ain't a bad looker, is it? Naked roadster, 440cc, air-cooled. Let's have a look at the back. Pretty good, isn't it? Decent mud guard. I know it's a bit long for you sports bike boys, but it'll keep the water off your back. It's a twin shocker. Have a look at that cedar coating on the engine. It's pretty damn good. All in all, I think the finish looks great. To be rude not to show you what it's like without Lofty on it, wouldn't it? Here we go. So, reasonably tall, low seat. Light, easy to get off the side stand. Plenty of room underneath. There we go. Not bad. That's fairly comfy. Handlebars, wide, very wide. Fall nicely to the arms. What's the ergos? Okay, so the cutaway is not as good as on me Imi, but it's not bad. I can get on. I can move my feet about. That's fairly comfortable. As you know, I'm 6'5", 16.5 stone. I could ride this. There's plenty of big bikes I find uncomfortable, but to be honest, I could ride this. It's not bad. First impressions, well done, Hero. Right, I know very little about the switchgear or anything. First thing I notice, cable-operated throttle, cable-operated clutch, hydraulic brake. So, Mickey Mouse ears. Mickey Mouse ears. We're non-adjustable on the brake. Coming down, decent sized bar ends. We got start-stop, hazard warnings. Coming across, quite a pretty little round dash. Ignition key in the usual place. Mickey Mouse ears again. We've got a very small indicator button. Push, stop, pull, stop. Do you know, that's not bad. Horn. We've got a pass light and a main beam on the same flicker. Now we've got what seems to be an up and down, a select and a return. I know absolutely nothing about them. So I've pressed the centre once. We've got a trip, Right, the return button changes gets rid of the trip. So you press it once you get the trip. You got 2 trips, mile per gallon, average fuel, the date. Okay, so the return gets you out and brings you back to the speedo. So what we got some idiot lights around the outside. It's a TFT, it's a small one, looks okay. We've got a gear indicator, we've got a little revometer, tachometer on the top, engine management light, fuel gauge. To be fair, that does the job. It's a bit of everything, isn't it? Shall we start it up? Can you see the tachometer? It's not a high rever. This one will not. It's a long stroke, old school, 2 Volvo. So this is what it sounds like from the cockpit. Let's have a listen from the pipe. As I said before, it's very Honda-esque, isn't it? You can see where it's all come from. We've got Boyberries on the front and back. As I say, first impressions, well done. Let's get the specs. I've got to say, it does feel like there's a glut of all these new model bikes coming into the country. So Hero motorcycles are Indian. They are the largest manufacturer of powered 2-wheelers in India. This, at the moment, is the biggest bike they make. Unbelievable, I know. They've been making 50s, 125s, 100s, 200s. There's a 200 little adventure bike coming very shortly. But so far, this is the biggest bike. As I said, up until 2011, they were called Hero Honda Motor Corps. The Indians went on their own in 2011 and carried on manufacturing motorbikes, which are what I would class as Honda-esque anyway. This is their first entry into the European market, especially the United Kingdom. It's a 2025 model, so it's their most up-to-date they make. So what is it? The Hunk 440, a 440cc air-cooled 4-stroke single-cylinder, 2-valve, overhead cam. Old technology, like I said. It does throw out a reasonable 27 brake horsepower and 26.5 foot-pounds, and they've put us LED lights all the way around. How good's that? They've got the logo in the back of the Mickey Mouse ears. How good's that? So what does it come in at? It's a 6-speed train drive, 188 kilograms wet, with an 803mm seat height, which is pretty standard. 13.5 litres of fuel. Superb. Right, running gear on the front end. Let's have a look. We have 43mm KYB upside down forks, a 110/70/17 MRF badged up tyres. They look okay. First opinions of people I've heard say they're not the best. They ain't in the same class as what Enfield put on, the Seats. We've got a single 320mm disc and a twin pot bi-brake caliper. Round the back end, twin shocks, adjustable for preload, with a 150/60/17 MRF badged up tyre again, with a 240mm disc with a single pot bi-brake caliper. Nice little indicators, rear light. Seat's quite good looking. We've got pillion pegs. I don't know what it'd be like with sub 30 brake horsepower. I suppose if you do like the Honda CG, like I said, this extra sort of like 90-100cc gives it that bit more power. So it probably would pull 2 up. If you're not in a rush to go anywhere, I can't fault it, can I? Crash bars fitted as standard. Decent front end. Not bad, is it? As I say, my first impression of the rear brake was it's horrible, but apart from that, not bad. Anyway, it's time Lofty got his helmet on and give this little beauty a bit of a thrash. I'm looking forward to this. I'll see you in a minute. Okay then, YouTube. Here we go. Lofty's back on the bike. I came up on the Hemi this morning. I thought it's best if I'm going to ride one of the smaller bikes, something sort of semi-comparable. would come on this. So we're going to go straight over the island. That indicator's lovely, nice and tactile, easy to touch, easy to feel and get used to. Gearbox, typical sort of, I've got to keep saying it, Honda-esque. If I shut my eyes, I'd think I was riding a 440 Honda. I ain't joking. So the old digital speedo looks quite nice. 5th gear, up to 50. 6th gear, very, very pleasant. Handling's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Rolls in lovely. As I say, my first impression of the rear brake are not good at all. I find I can't get enough purchase on the lever to make it work. What I'm finding is I'm putting my heel on it to get enough. So coming down here, I'll just drop a cog and I feel for the back, and if I use my heel, it's okay. If I use my toe, I can't seem to get the articulation of my ankle to put enough pressure. Mickey Mouse ears, they're probably not wide enough for my big elbows. I'm getting a mirror full of elbow, which is not good. But they don't seem to be vibrating much. So here we go. So talking about Hero, the one thing they've got, as I said, they don't make many, well, they don't make any big bikes yet. They will do, don't worry about that. They've got this reputation for making good, solid, well-built bikes that go forever. They sell millions of these things in India. Like I say, 6 million bikes, and they're only just sending them around the world. So it's a 6 million Indian bikes. When you think Royal Enfield are only the 3rd biggest manufacturer in India, although they're probably their more premium brand, I suppose, if you like. It's not bad, is it? Hero Motorcycle Corporation. So what are we? We're in 3rd gear, doing 33, 34 mile an hour. A little bit of buzz through the bars, a little bit of buzz through the pegs, but not a lot. So we're just going to slow it down, 30 mile an hour, 3rd gear 30. Unfortunately, we caught up with the bus. Took me a while to get used to where the gear lever was. The pegs are fairly wide, and the gear lever seems to be a long way away, but I've got it, I'm used to it. As I say, the only thing I'm not happy with is the rear brake. I've done a little bit of reading about them. The two main things people complain about is that when you press on spiritedly, the pegs do tend to grind out quite quickly. But it's a commuter. It's a Sunday afternoon or a go to work on bike. Somewhere to be relaxed and do a job. I should imagine it's very, very economical. The gearbox, it's brand new, little bit notchy, but not bad. It's not quite as slick as my Himalayan box, but it's okay. So we're in a 20, 2nd gear, doing a nice easy 20, and hopefully we'll drift up past the bus. Yeah, here we go, up past the bus. As I say, isn't it wonderful to be out on a motorbike without getting absolutely drenched every day. But today, look at this. We've got the sun in the sky. Valentine's Day, the missus gave me a teddy this morning and a nice card. I've cooked her a meal for tonight, how about that? Lofty's been on the pots and pans. Anyway, that's another subject. So in this town environment, 2nd gear, a doddle. This is so easy to ride. If you're looking for a step up from your 125, with your whatever it is, 12 or 13 brake horsepower, it's not a lot, is it? Might be 14 on some of them. You've got you've got double with this. It's 30 odd brake, basically. So whereas the 350 Enfields and the Hondas, their air-cooled 350s do about 20 brake, and the Himalayan and the Triumphs do best part of 40 odd brake. This is somewhere in between. Like I say, it's old school. It's over at cam, but it's only a 2-valve head. So you ain't going to get a lot of poke out of it. It's not a rever. It's not like the Triumph bikes. This is a long stroker. Very much in the same mould as the Honda GB350 and the little Immies. Oh, nice man in there. Mercs, letting us go. There we go, sneaking it in. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, we've got another one here. It's Saturday afternoon, everybody's happy. Thank you very much, sir. So here we are, 20 mile an hour. I'm in third, no problem. For the engine size, it's reasonably torquey, and I'm not being silly. You don't expect a lot from a 440 single long stroke engine, do you? With only 2 valves, but it's not bad. So we're in a 50, round past the garage. We're going to take a right on the Travesco Road and take it round the course. As I say, I do like the indicator switch, that's nice. I'm going to leave it in third. Plod, plod, plod. So here we go, 2,500 revs. It's not quick. That's up to 5. We'll give it 5,000 revs, we won't go mad. But all of a sudden we're doing 50. We're in top gear now, 55. I'm getting a bit of wind noise, but I'm getting no blast whatsoever off this clock. That's pleasant, that is. It definitely doesn't feel as sprite as the Himalayan. I would think if you're looking for something with a bit of power, you'd be better off going for the Gorilla, seriously. But there's one elephant in the room, which I didn't tell you in the walk round. How much do you think this is? Go on, have a guess. You're going to pay $5.5 grand for a Gorilla. How much is this? Shall we say 3,600 on the road? That's on the road. £3,600 on the road. Now, if you want something to go to work on, leave the car at home, be able to park it easy, 3,600. Slow riding, easy. That's cheap motoring, isn't it? The one good thing about these little bikes is you can always sell them second hand, you know. I can remember years ago when Linny first started riding them, I bought her a Jailing. Paid 550 quid for it, did 3,000 miles on it. She passed the test and sold it for 500 quid. It was a 6-year-old bike when we sold it. It still looked as good as when it was new. And that was basically a Chinese-made Honda CG125. So we're just nibbling through here at 20. The throttling, I tell you what, is perfect. There's no lurch, nothing. There's no lag in the throttle whatsoever. It's very pleasant. So we're still nibbling up here, steady 20 mile an hour. Quite painful, isn't it? But it's easier to do it on a small bike than on a big bike. Be hard graft on a GT there, wouldn't it? Anyway, here we are. Third gear. Bit of a pull away. Up to the bend. Drop it in, float it round. Very pleasant. Yeah, clutch this into fourth, fifth, and top. No problem. So, brakes. Let's give the front brake a bit of a jab. There's nobody about. Okay, that 320mm disc with the old Bible on. That's fine. Just get the right gear. So we're coming around the corner. I'm going to use my foot normal. We're only doing 35 mile an hour, so this is... Now, that's absolutely ridiculous. I'll do it again, but I'll use my heel. Right, I'll feel a bit of a skip and a dance with my heel. It's not very forgiving, is it, your heel? But it works. So we'll get round the corner and we'll just do a front and back, see what the emergency stop's like. So 35, 40 mile an hour, front and back. Okay, that's not bad. It's okay. The rear brake might bed in, I don't know, but I'm not happy with that whatsoever. So here we go. Let's give it a bit of a ride. Into the little chicane. That's okay. I don't want to give it too much because I'm not 100% sure of these tyres yet, but they feel okay in the dry. Third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, into top, doing 60. Yeah, the front brake's okay, it's reassuring. I'm not worried. I know I can slow down and stop, and there's decent overrun on the gearbox. Over this nasty little bridge. So fourth gear up the hill, steeper than it looks. Let's get it up to national. 5,000 revs, into fifth. Okay, we're doing 60, I'll nick it into top. Okay, there we go. 58, 59 mile an hour. Up an hill. That ain't bad, is it? I think if you went on a Sunday wobble with the lads or the lasses, you'd have to be careful with a few of your overtakes, but it ain't bad. That's 6th gear up an hill. I'm quite impressed with that. We're 3,500 revs. Like I say, it's a bit of a plodder. It's nothing like the Bajaj engines that stick in the Triumphs. Those 400 Triumph engines are far more of a thrashy bike, far more of a rever. You know, you pay your money, you take your choice what you're looking for. .440cc single, it's all right, isn't it? Down to the island. Let's see what the old dual carriageway is like. See if we can hit 70 down the hill. Right, third gear. Here we go, squeeze it. 5,000 revs. Yeah, up to 70, no trouble. So we've got an indicated 72, I don't know how accurate it is, at 4,500 revs. That ain't bad, is it? There's no buzz. I can't feel any buzz. It's quite a smooth engine. I just throttle off and change gate lanes. Into fifth. Into fourth. Bit of brakes. Third gear. It pulls in third nicely at 20 mile an hour, you know. You don't have to drop it into second. Well, let's see what it's like up the hill then. So we'll do third gear up the dual carriageway. Yeah, we might big everybody on. We might get 70, we might not. Right, fifth gear, 5,000 revs, 65. I don't want to give it no more, there's no point. But it doesn't sound like it's over revving or complaining or anything, it's okay. Yeah, I like it. Good little bike, good little bike. What do you think? Hero Motors, Dabberalls. Anyway, I'll just ease off now. So, if you've enjoyed this video, the first one of the year, 2026, Valentine's Day, Lofty on the Hunk, click on the little like, subscribe, ring that little bell, ask me a question, you know I'm only too pleased to answer. If you're looking for a little bike and you want something with a bit more poke than the 350 Enfields or the CG, well, come and have a look at this. 30 brake, it's alright, it ain't bad. Anyway, we're nearly back at Damrells. I better wrap this up. I've enjoyed riding this, I've got to say. It's comfy, even for a big bloke. So, This is the Lofty Biker saying ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.